outvoted.
Hello.
I've been outvoted because umchita.
I apologize on behalf of the country, but but shout out to all the massive Metro listeners. Your boy DJ Kaymo is in studio today. Finally, we're here.
How are you?
I'm well, thanks. And you? I can't
I'm
complain.
good, thank you. Let me take those cans. Take these ones because I'm such a good host. Take these cans.
Good. It's cool.
I think there's one you're working on.
Yeah, it's fine.
You're fine
like
like
that. I just
that.
need one, Ven.
Okay, I will try. Since I've decided to forgive
You seem like you have a lot to say. Can get it off your chest before we start.
No, do you know what? We've got 27 minutes until the end of the show, so I actually don't have
a lot of time.
Hey,
you can do a lot in 27 minutes.
What's the best thing that you've ever done in 27 minutes? Bear in mind, it's during the day. This is not an after night show.
Yeah, I've done a lot in 27 minutes. That's almost half an hour. Think about it.
I know that. It's how long I was waiting for you. Boom. Okay. Real talk. All right, DJ Kaymo World.
Yes,
you have a lot that you have done. You recently dropped your EP, Small Town Rabbit.
Yes, ma'am.
And I like it.
Did you listen to it?
What do you mean?
Favorite song?
Kung Fu with J. Claude on it.
There we go. That's
you really think that I'd have you in here and not listen to your music?
No, I just want to know what people's favorites are. It would be nice to know.
Yeah?
Yeah, everyone has a different favorite. So I wanted to hear specifically what your favorite is.
What has been the general consensus when you're speaking to people about what they think is dope from the project?
People are definitely loving Kung Fu. They're loving It's a Party. And then there's a jam called Wema that really speaks to a lot of young black men. So they could resonate with the song.
Right.
You know, yeah.
So talk to me about putting together the whole project.
I started working on the project last year. I mean, for the past few years, I've always dropped singles back to back. So I was like, man, I'm tired of dropping singles, so maybe it's time to put together or curate together a body of work for my fans and all the people that have always been like supporting me like musically continuously. And it's always been a long-term, not sure, that I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to put together a body of work to tell my story through music, so it could get to other people. Hence, I'm not a rapper, I'm not a singer. There's not much I can do, but I can always try put things together and make it work and tell my story through music. It's the best way I could do it.
You speak about the fact that you had dropped a number of singles, right? And then you had to put together this body of work.
Yes.
Is there a different part of the brain that works, or is it generally just same kind of principles but on a bigger scale?
It's the same kind of principles on a bigger scales, and you're gonna need both brains for this one.
What was the most difficult thing about getting the project together?
Getting everyone on the song. I mean, it's not easy to get like 3 to 4 rappers in one room on one song, you know. So it was a lot of work, a lot of time was spent on that, a lot of effort, and just finalizing the product, because anyone can make music, but putting the product together and selling it to the consumer and to the audience is something different. So that was a bit of a stretch, but we managed to get over it, you know. We're not doing too bad.
What did you learn about yourself the most through this process, especially if you're speaking about, you know, it's one thing to be able to make the music and be a creative and even get people in the same room once you overcome that hurdle. But like you're saying, there's the business side of things. There's the side where you have to get the stuff out. You have to promote it as well. So what was the most difficult part, and what did you learn about yourself through that?
I've realized that I'm not going to stop until I get things done the way I want to get them done, you know. I mean, or while putting together this project, I ran into a lot of obstacles. I came across a lot of no's, a lot of doors were closed, but what I told myself is, I'm gonna go do this because this is my short-term goal, and this is something I've always wanted to do. I've invested my time, my money, my effort, so much in it that I'm not gonna allow even the smallest thing to stop me from doing what I want to do. Yeah.
You speak about, you know, obstacles. You speak about a lot of no's, and it's very, very easy, especially when you are a creative. Creatives are very, very sensitive and very, very emotional, and especially when it comes to what you are creating, right? And then you get a no, and it's very difficult to not take it personally because your music is an extension of you. It is very, very personal. So if you get a no, it's like, oh my gosh, why am I getting this? No, this is something that is so important to me. How do you recover and keep going? And how do you not let a no be the final no?
What I realized is that in the game, I mean, I still need to prove myself to not a lot of people, but maybe a couple of people. They still need to know who is DJ Kaymo, what does he stand for, where is he from, and where is he going. So when I did get all those no's and all those obstacles, it was like, okay, maybe I still need to prove myself. Maybe I still need to earn my stripes, and it's not the end of the world. I mean, I'm gonna work with the people that do wanna work with me, and I'm gonna learn from that. And who knows, maybe 10 years from now on, those people that said no might want to work with me then, and then it's a different situation, you know.
Would you be able to work with somebody in the future who has given you a no now?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
For the music, yes. Music and business, I don't allow emotions or feelings to get in between on things, because that's not the way to make it. It doesn't work like that. Feelings aside, emotions aside.
Right.
And yeah, the ball gotta keep growing, like, you know, nothing, like the world doesn't just stop just for you. You can never.
All right, so it's DJ Kaymo World. He's hanging out with me for the next 20 minutes. We gotta take a short break to go get some money, and then after we get that money, you're gonna be listening to the sounds of DJ Kaymo with a joint called Gang Gang alongside candy coated music. And then when we come back, we're gonna speak to him more about his DJing. We're gonna speak to him more about the project and what else that we can expect from him. It is The Element on the Rocking Real and Relevant Massive Metro, and as you know, it's all for the love of hip-hop. That's what's up. 16 minutes to go before we hit 3 o'clock. DJ Kaymo was being nice to me. He had caught me off guard. I'm like, wait, what's that? So talk to me about, I found the title, Small Town Rabbit. Yeah. So interesting. What is that about?
Small Town Rabbit. So I'm from a very small town in the Free State called Kronstadt.
Okay.
And I grew up in the Vaal. That's also a very small town. And Rabbit translated from my home language Sesotho, which rabbit is Mutla. So when you translate that, it gives you rabbit, and my clan name is Mutla, which means poker, Mutla, so goes back to rabbit. So small.
That is so dope. That is so dope. I always like when people bring in their cultural aspects into their music. I get very, very impressed. You're not doing too bad there, DJ Kaymo. So how did you go about deciding all the people that you wanted to work with?
I've always wanted to work with new upcoming talent, fresh young blood, and people I really want to work with, and people that I have a relation. I mean, most of the people on the tape are people that I actually have a friendship or relationship with, and we do get along, not just musically but also on the private side of life too. So I've always wanted to put together a full body of work where we can also showcase young talent, especially the new wave of SA hip-hop, you know. And
wait, why is that so important for you? Showing off the new wave of SA hip-hop.
I feel like there's a paradigm shift happening low-key, whereas all the new guys are coming in, and shout out to all the guys that came before us. I mean, they paved the way for us, and we can only take it forward to greater heights from now on, you know, because it's time for some new blood, some new energy, new names, just the whole new vibe. So this tape really introduces a whole lot of new artists. I don't want to even say upcoming artists, but a new wave of artists.
So as far as you're concerned, because you're talking about injecting new energy, new blood, and the paradigm shift that's kind of happening in the game, right? So what would you say your role in that would be? What energy are you bringing? If you had to describe the energy that you would be bringing and the role that you would want to play to cement yourself in that space, what would that be?
I believe that I'm the street A&R. I'll always catch what's hot on the streets and what people don't know yet.
Right.
I mean, a lot of people always know what's popping on radio or TV, what. But what are the streets really saying? What's happening on the ground? What are the people in the townships or in the dust, or people that don't have internet? What are they bumping into? So, for me, I always feel like I'm the street A&R. I'm on the streets. My ears on the ground. and I really wanna put on like upcoming guys and new guys on. Yeah.
All right. So 12 minutes to go. I'm gonna play Whip It, then after that we're gonna come and close the show together. It is The Element on Massive Metro. 7 minutes before we have to dip and make way for DJ Spoo Live, coming through from 3 until 6 p.m. right here on Massive Metro, as well as the voice of Tim Bisa. But until then, it's still all for the love of hip-hop, kicking it with DJ Kaymo World, and we're talking all things small town rabbit. So of all the joints on the project, right, which are you, one, most proud of? Which was the most difficult to get done? And which is your current favorite? Because I know you guys, today it's this one, tomorrow it's that one, tomorrow it's that one. So let's start with the one that you're most proud of.
The one that I'm most proud of, Kung Fu is really a dope joint. No one's ever put together 3 rappers of that caliber on one song. So I'm really proud of that.
J. Claude, but
J. Claude, like, imagine, like, so it's 4 artists, like, very good artists on there. The one song that was hard to put together, okay, From the Dirt, because I struggled to get a verse, and the one song that I'm currently enjoying right now is called Making Moves, the one with Master Difference and Palermo.
I like
Making Moves.
I like that joint as well. So on this show on a Wednesday we have a feature called the Producer Spotlight, right, with Mr. Instro, and what he does is he spotlights a producer and he spotlights some of the moves that they've made and some of the notable things that we can learn from them, right? And one of the things that he mentioned, I think maybe last week or the week before, is how beneficial being a DJ can be when it comes to being a music producer. Now, as both, do you agree? Do you not agree? And what, if any, principles of DJing did you find yourself applying as you were putting together this project?
I do agree. And the reason why I agree is because if I'm a producer and the DJ, I can make a song now and go play it at my next gig tonight and test it out and see if people really like it. That's the nice thing about it. And it's easier to play music that you've made yourself. You know exactly where's what, how to do it, BPM. Like, there's so much advantages of you being a DJ and a producer at the same time, like on a music level, sonically, and just you have a huge I have a huge advantage on that in terms of that, because I know now where to go to test the song or if it'll work out or not. Have
you ever done that before? Like, before you release something, gone and test it out, and then when it's not dope, you're like, or not that it's not dope, but when you don't get the reaction that maybe you are after.
What I've realized with hip hop, you'll never get the reaction that you want on the first impression. Never. You have to force it onto people. I mean, there's times where I'll play a new song 3 times just so people can hear, and when you wake up tomorrow, that song will be playing in your head, and you'll know. That
programming that you do.
So, I mean, the first time you won't always get the right reaction. You know, you have to force it onto people. And one thing about music is you really have to be confident with your music, because all that energy rubs off people. If you're not confident about your music, the very same energy is gonna rub off people. They're not also gonna be I guess sure what's in my Kaymo or what. So you have to be really confident about your music and your craft more than anything.
All right, so there's 4 minutes to go before we have to get on out of here. What is it that you really are hoping people will get from having listened to Small Town Rabbit? And what more are you hoping that they'll know about you after having listened to it?
I mean, like I said, Small Town Rabbit was a short-term goal, and it was a gift from me to the people that have always been supporting me musically. And I now think people can have an idea who's DJ Kaymo, what does he stand for, where is he from, and where is he going. Because when you look at the track list on the mixtape, the first song, it's an intro, but it has my birthday
April 9th.
The second one is saying Making Moves, it's telling you. The next one is the Come Up, it's giving you a story about the Come Up. The other one's Nightmares, it's telling you about how we work so hard to keep alive. Like, every song is based on a certain kind, has its own mood or feeling, you know. And from here on, we just need to make sure that the project reaches everywhere, the whole of Africa. And this was just a test run. This is my first debut project, my first baby, and I'm gonna learn from it, learn from the mistakes, learn from the achievement of the tape that's gonna be doing so well for me. And hopefully by next year I'll have like a album ready for the people, and we look forward to building more relationships, making more music, putting on more people, and opening up more doors for ourselves more than anything. Yeah.
So you say that this was your short term goal, your first baby.
My debut project.
Let me in on one of your long term goals.
My long term goals.
Yeah, just one, because I'm sure there's a number of them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 24 now, and by the time I reach 30, I want to be in a position where I'll be maybe a label executive and be more on the business side of music, and not just want to be in the limelight anymore. You know, we gotta give other people a chance. You know, DJ Sbu is actually a perfect example. I mean, he did his thing a couple of years ago, and now he's just behind the scenes. He's doing radio, he's doing soft drinks, he's doing energy drinks, you know, he's doing a lot. So, and he put on so many other people on his journey. So like that's someone I really look up to, and I would follow up his footsteps, like via business side of things. Yeah, that's my long-term goal.
Goals. Big shout out to DJ Sbu. DJ Sbu Live is going to be coming up actually after the 3 o'clock news, so make sure that you do stay plugged in from 3 until 6 p.m. DJ Sbu Live right here at Massive Metro, as well as the voice of Timbisa. And as you do know, he is gunning for this world record. Just make sure that you do stay plugged into his social media to get all of the details. But for the next for the next 40 seconds I got the maths right. Chills is always having me about this maths of mine. For the next 40 seconds, it's still all for the love of hip hop. Thank you so much for rocking out with me.
Thank you so much for having me.
Not so bad, ne? A little bit of roasting there at the beginning.
No, I enjoyed it.
You made it through?
We need tough love sometimes.
Now imagine if you enjoyed it. Imagine what can happen in an hour. So when you have that new project next year,
please make sure you guys go get the project Small Town Rabbit out there, available on all digital platforms. Make sure you guys follow me, DJ Kaymo World, everywhere, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. And book me, please. Book the boy. Just book me.
Yeah, guys.
Let's rock your party.
The artists need help, hey? No, seriously.
Save South Africa.
Jokes aside, hey, because wow.
Let us save the country, please.
Especially since Dad has decided he's closing the country for December. Let's do as best as we possibly can. It's just gone at 3 o'clock. DJ Kaymo's out of here. I'm about to be out of here. Schoolies, come closer to the mic. I'm making way for DJ Sbu Live, as I said just now. Remember, in everything that you do, make sure that you are in your element, and while being in your element, keep it pristine. I'm back again tomorrow from 1 until 3 p.m. right here on Massive Metro, doing it all for the love of hip hop. Goodbye.